are angry. It's okay.
I'm not angry. Except when you keep repeating, you're angry. And that shit's fucking annoying. Like a fucking gnat at a barbecue. Just bugging the fuck out of me.
Good. I want you to say, I'm angry. It's okay. I'll process my anger. I love myself. Woozah.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And boom. Episode, let's just go. I think it's 36. Let's go with 36. You know, because the last one I actually named and I forgot. I just forgot right now. Just blanked out. So we're going with episode 36. If you're watching this, I'm shooting differently. It's under blue lighting because I've noticed, right? Because I don't really watch myself. So I played back my video and I'm like, hey, you look old as fuck. And I'm like, why I don't look like that when when I'm pulling the film and I'm putting in editing software. It's because the lighting. I have two different lights. There's one above my head, and there's these two lights right here that burn the shit out of my face. So it creates shadows in their eyes. Because I swear I don't look that old. If you see me, you'll be like, what the fuck? Why you look like 96? Like I look like the guy in Six Flags that dun, 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 dun. I don't know his name, but you know what I'm talking about when he was in the commercial. I haven't seen the Six Flags commercial in forever, but yeah. So I'm trying this out and see if it works. If it works, cool. If not, easy to change. I just don't like shooting under yellow light. I don't know why. It just looks weird. So, anyways, so today is Sunday. Always my busiest day. I hate it. It's because on Saturday, I'm supposed to be doing some stuff to, lighten my Sunday. But I don't. On Saturdays, I'm just chilling, Just chilling. I don't want to do shit. So then my Sundays are packed with shit, So right now, tomorrow is actually tattoo time. But by the time this episode drops on Wednesday, I'm already have it. You could go to, I'm telling you right now, I know he's going to post it, MVP_tattoos. And my boy Cello's going to have it. So tomorrow we're hanging out. He has me from morning till fucking night. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm excited for the tattoo. But also, I don't want to be there that long. It's like we literally have all the meals together, which is weird. It's like I'm on a date with this dude. But anyway. But yeah, excited. I know he's going to call me tonight. We got to go over, he likes to go over the game plan. And I think that's pretty cool. Like he'll send you designs and he's like, hey, you want to do this? I think it'll look better. He might even switch it. Like it's supposed to be on my forearm right here. He might be like, yo, I think this tattoo will look better on your other arm. I don't know, but I'm open, I trust in them. So, we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see what he says. He's actually fucking working right now. I checked before I came on and I'm just like, damn, because he just posted, like, it said 40 minutes ago, and he's, like, doing this big-ass tat, and I'm like, God, like, how much money does this tattoo artist make? Because he's making a fortune right now, I think. If he's charging, what they're charging me, and he guys, every day, I'm going to become a tattoo artist. I'm going to change my whole fucking profession because I know he's making a lot of goddamn money, so I gotta see what he drives and all that shit. And I would ask him, but there's a language barrier thing, He speaks Spanish, but he speaks a very strong Spanish. Spanish that it don't go good with my Spanish. So we try. I mean, we cover a lot, but he also understands English. He's just shy to speak in English. Well, and this is vice versa, so we're just fucked, right? But we don't want to talk anyway. I want him to, do his thing. We'll talk when we eat, I don't want to talk and have conversation while he's trying to focus on making lines and shit. So, but yeah, I'm excited, and nervous, and I know I'm not going to sleep. So, today I actually have to do some work, which kills me. To try to do work on a Sunday, But I know Monday I'm going to call out, so I have to do, So that's going on with me. And what else? Before I jumped into the topic that I want to jump in today was the how your body, how things are different in your 30s for men, all right? Nothing about women, all right? So all the women listeners, I'm getting on like, we don't do that. I'm like, this is for men, all right? And I'm gonna get to this later. I just want to throw something in there first. This is for men in the age range, my age, which is, I'm 19. We all know this. It's like 37 to 55, all right? Those are the people, 37 to 55, and that's the information I got. But before that, I wanted to talk about a show before I fucking forget because it's just fresh on my head. Alice in Borderland. I don't know if you guys watch Alice in Borderland, but if I had to describe it, if you were a fan of Squid Games and you like those crazy ass games, Alice in Borderland is the same thing. It's just like more open world, I would say. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, when you watch the first season, you see the games, you're going to get hooked, right? I just finished the second season, but it feels like the series is going to be over. So I don't know how they're going to continue it, but it's good. I would say if it ends 2 seasons, it's a 2 seasons you need to watch. It's a very good show, Alice in Borderland. And I want to actually rewatch the first because like it has one of those twist endings and it's just like, and and your mind's going crazy and all that shit. But yeah, I strongly suggest Alice in Borderland right now. I'm not gonna lie. I want to finish watching Jeannie and Georgia season 2, and that's it. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Probably got some shit. I think I get some. What was the shit I was getting? I was getting the most shit from the last podcast. What was it? What did I say? Forgot what I said, but it gave a lot of people came back and they were like, "What the fuck?" And I love it. That means you're listening, And also, if you're watching, I don't have on the shirt. I'm looking at myself now, which you shouldn't do. Like I'm supposed to be looking right here, but there's also a thing that shows me so I can see what I look like. And yeah, I just looked right now and I was like, wait, you're not wearing your shirt. But also, I need it in tank top form, So Liz, I'm gonna tag you on this. I need this in tank top. I need the shirt I have that you made me with my logo in tank top form, please. I need people to see my shoulders. The boy's been working hard, doing some things. I need people to see my clavies. Looks nice. Got a nice upper body. I just need it to trickle all the way the fuck down. Yeah, I've been running again, and I feel like, I'm falling in love again. But I do not want to talk about working out. I tend to drift on working out here, and I don't want to have that conversation because I'm actually shooting something completely different where that's all I talk about. So I don't want to include that in here. But if I had to relate some shit because, how my body feels at 30, and that could, easily transition into the topic at hand today is, guys in their 30s, how their body is, how you feel, what turns you on, how everything, so I think that would be a good transition, but I'm not going to talk about working out. I'm going to try to stop talking about, throwing in a little, I just finished exercise and, you guys don't give a shit. Nobody, I don't give a shit. So, but yeah, on the other channel, it's not going to be another channel. It's just be another playlist. That's all I talk about. So it's actually going to drive you wild. It's going to be different. It's not going to be like a lot of these fitness pages. You actually watch people work out. And if you watch people work out, you fucking already know what it is. Me is talking about, all the things prior to that, like finding the right clothing, the playlist, eating, supplements, things of that nature, like I'm not going to talk about, I don't want you guys watching me work out, especially dudes, because I already get that at the gym. Like as soon as I pick up something heavy, and that's it. All right. And I'm talking about working out. So oops to me. Oops. And I'm not going to talk about working out anymore. So, on to the topic at hand. And this is a funny topic because, I actually reached out and did some research for it. And normally I just fire from the hip. So I was just like, let me just make sure I'm saying the right shit, or I can say this and it's relatable. Because if it's just me, then it's just a just me thing. But, I have, as I talked in the last podcast, many friends. So I had a lot of people to reach out to and love the responses. And I would not, say names. There's only one name I'm probably going to mention in the story or in my rant, but it's an important name. It was a guy, he would be in the 50, 60 range, and, he was the first, he kind of felt like a father figure. His name was Charles, should I say his name? Let's call him CC, all right? CC I met, he was like my second friend when I moved from Jersey to Georgia. And he was an older guy, and he was always, always with the quotes, saying shit that I talked about him on one of these episodes. I think it's called Pound Sand. He came up with that saying, or he used to say all these sayings that I'm like, I don't have no idea what the fuck you're saying. But he would like, sometimes you got to be a little imperfect to be perfect, and that's perfectly fine. And I'm like, oof, you lost me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking. So CC, I'm going to bring him up because, I reached out, and he was always, he always had these things that he would tell me when I was a youngster. And, it's actually coming up now as an adult, and I'm like, wow, what a callback. And cousins as well. But let's talk about first, which order should I put it in? Okay. So we'll do it like this. The turn-ons that we have as men as 30-year-old. And I wish I did this with, it would be fun if I did this with a female, right next to me, like one of my friends, and see what she would say, like the back and forth, or the reactions. And that makes me actually miss my other friend, Taz. If you ever seen that episode with her that we're talking about everything, we're talking about, positions and penis sizes and all that stuff. So we were talking about all that. But yeah, shout out to Taz. Okay, so what I was saying, right? So men, we're visual creatures, right? We're always going to be visual creatures. So I'm not going to sit here and say, that's not important, right? What I'm going to say is it's changed from my teen years to my 20s, right? If I had to put a percentage on it. So when I was checking out women, it was 95% about the physical and 5% about mental. Like, I don't care if she couldn't spell her own name, right? That's how it was. That's how it is for a lot of guys, right? At those ages. But then I noticed, mid-30s, maybe a little, it started changing. And I'm like, like the percentages really fucking fluctuated. To me, and this is me, guys had their own percentages and shit, but it was kind of like the same thing. It lowered. Like the physical wasn't all that. It was like me, I would say now it's mental 60, physical 40. 60-40. I don't even say 50-50 because, to me, all right? Like my other guy had it was close to 50-50. But it was like, it lowered a lot. It wasn't in the 90s when you were like in your teens, right? So I started noticing that, right? Like before, and I think I've said this before in another podcast, in that Friends podcast, I said this, like before it was all about just, what I saw, what I liked, right? Couldn't care about conversations. I didn't give a shit. I wasn't like, let's have a conversation about politics. No. No. It was always questions about so do you like thongs or something? You know what I'm saying? It was always the perverted route, right? So I started noticing in my 30s, right? I started being more like, I want to know all the things. I want to know, hobbies, your interests. You kind of say this shit when you're younger, your teens and 20s, but you're really not interested, right? If you were telling the truth, you're really not interested. But in my 30s, I'm actually very interested. It's like if there was like a porn magazine and now people are reading the fucking, the whole bio of the girl. Like before they were just looking at the picture, now they're reading the bio. They want right now I want to know the bio. I'm in the stage where I need to know the whole thing, right? And I use this example. I have so many examples, but like this, honestly, this conversation can branch into many, many conversations, and I could turn this fucking 30 minutes into like 3 hours. Honestly, it's that easy because I have stories for days. But so there's one guy, I'm gonna use an example. All right, so when I worked at, I'm trying to do it fast too, so keep up, okay? So when I worked at Timberland at the mall in New Jersey, there was a, 2 stores down, there was this store called Wild Pear, right? And Wild Pear had all the dime pieces, the nines and tens. Women worked there. There was only women in there. I think they had one guy in the stock room, and that's it. So they didn't have to lift any of the boxes or touch any of the boxes. But all the girls in that store were 9 and 10s, right? And there was only one store separating us. I think it was like a candle store that was separating us from them, right? In Timberland at that time, it was more men at that time. But when your boy came on, when I was the boss, let me say this. This has nothing to do with anything. But when I became the boss, my era, and I know a lot of my friends from Timberland watch this or listen to this. When I was boss, that era was the greatest. We had fun, we partied, and we just laughed, and that was a good time. Anyways, back to the story. So, girls from Wild Pear used to go to see the Timberland guys, right? They had no fucking interest in our shoes. I mean, at the time, Timberland didn't make nice looking shoes for women. So it's not like they could go in there like, let me pretend to look at this shoe. Really, I'm trying to hit on a guy, right? Or I want a guy to hit on me. So, let me say this friend, he listens to me and he has a wifey and kid, and I don't want to put him out there that much. But let me call him, because I don't want to start some shit between them. For this story, because I like to say this, his name is going to be Jonathan. Not Jonathan, Jonathan. So Jonathan, right? These girls used to always come in the store, and they used to flirt with Jonathan. Jonathan at the time, he was, probably my age now, 37, 35, 37, right? And these girls were way younger. I mean, I was a young buck. I don't even remember. I'm like teens, 20s. So, I remember they had to be like 19, 20, 21. Yeah. From 19 probably to 22-ish, the range, because there was some, But anyway, they used to always come in and flirt with Jonathan, why they used to flirt with Jonathan is what every woman describe, when a woman says, what's your perfect man? Or they say, what's your perfect man? He's tall, dark, and handsome. Jonathan was all that. And they really liked the tall part. They used to say the same fucking thing that used to drive me crazy. They used to come in, oh, I just love how tall you are, because when I wear heels, you still make me look short. He. And I used to throw up because I was a short king. I used to hate that comment. I'm like, oh, okay, because when you wear heels, you're looking at the top of my head. Well, fuck me, Now they actually make fucking inserts for your shoes so we can level up. We can be at the same level. So, and just when we get home, we're on the same level again. So, but anyways, they used to love it. They used to say that same line. And I used to watch them flirt with this guy nonstop. Flirt. And his responses was like he was never interested. And I'm just like, but it's crazy because he would always comment. Like he was like, man, did you see her in that outfit? Man, her ass was nice. Man, her tits were nice. And I'm just like, yeah, I've seen it. But you just turned her down. He was the type, he could have slept with all of them. And all the girls in that store, he could have slept with all of them, right? But he would turn them down all the time. And I'm like, yeah, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or do you like men? Or what's going on? And he used to be like this. When people say my nickname, this like, it's a weird, story coming on. But then he used to be like, and this is Charles did this to me too. He goes, Macho. He was like, they don't have it here. He's like, if you're listening to me, he was, tapping his head. Like, and I'm like, what? They're not smart? You don't like them? I'm like, they don't need to be smart. They're hot. Right? He was like, no. He was like, you don't get it. He was like, you'll get it when you're older. He was like, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck that means, Young buck answers. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm like, I just see you turning down women left and right. So anyway, there was this one girl. She worked downstairs. Now this girl was not a 9-10. She was a 7. But, she used to come upstairs. She actually liked the shoes in there. We sold clothing too. And she liked it for her father. So she used to always come upstairs, see what's new, and blah, blah, blah. And the thing with this girl, she, was quick with it. I consider myself a very witty person. And no, I don't consider. I am a very witty person. Thank you very much. So, and she was quick. She was always quick with her responses, quick with comebacks. And I started noticing, her and Jonathan, fucked up, used to do that a lot. I literally watched them back and forth. And, she would come up. She would make fun of him. She would, it was the banter, And that's what I'm getting. The whole point of this fucking story is like, I'm starting to like the banter more. That flirtatious banter, the eyes, the eye connection, all that stuff. And then if you know me from earlier episodes, I said this many, many times. I had a problem with eye contact because normally when I look at people in the eyes, I'm actually like finding ways to make fun of you, which is something I have worked on. But anyway, so yeah, I had this issue with eye contact, but now it's like the eye contact, the banter, the back and forth. If you're quick with it and I'm saying something inappropriate and then you fire back something else inappropriate, if you're leaving me speechless, sign me up. You know what I'm saying? Or I am hooked. I'm hooked. I become obsessed. I become like the fucking guy from You, remember? He comes all obsessed and he starts narrating and he's like, I wonder how she would look on the side of me. Or I become like that because if you can shut me up, sometimes I let people win, these little back and forth exchanges. But if you can shut me up and leave me speechless, take my money. Take my money. And that's what, see, this is why I'm like, I gotta reel this shit back in. Because see, I could talk about strip clubs and why I hate them, but why they're also good. If I could fast forward it, when you're going to get a private dance, and the lady talks to you for a while, what turns you on first? When she's talking to you, right? Because somehow they train these strippers, unless you get like you go to a strip club where the girls were like captured from another country and they don't speak English, but when they're quick with it at the strip club, it's like they teach you something where they're just like, bam, 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 bam. Anyway, let's go back to Jonathan. See, I could take this all over and it's 23 minutes. I'm gonna go over this episode, but it's fucking all right because you guys love the perversion. So back to Jonathan, right? So I watched these two, literally. These two actually fell in love in front of my fucking face because every day it was the same thing. And I watched him, and then I watched him, turn down the 9-10s. Because, when the 9-10s came in, he wasn't that chatty, and I kind of noticed that neither were they. It was just like, hi. What time you get out, 5? What time you get out, 5? That's funny, huh? And I'm just like, what the fuck? This is terrible. This is a terrible script. Like, fucking someone please change it. But yeah. But when, the 7 came up and she was quick with it, let me tell you, if you're 6'7", but you have that wit, forget it. You're 11 now. You're 11 now. So she surpassed those girls. Easy. So anyway, she would every day come up, and then they started, liking each other, and then they ended up fucking, it was like a love story. They fucking fell in love. They fucking stood together. They moved away together. And I'm just like, and I started to get it. Like, even now, I'm just like, oh, I get it. And Charles, when I moved down to Georgia, he was telling me the same thing. I don't know what the fuck we were talking about, but he was like, so I'm telling you, dude, he was like, you're going to get to a point where it's up here. And he did the same thing. He was tapping his head. And I'd had the same reaction, this stupid young man reaction. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. What the fuck? Smart, okay. But it wasn't being smart. And it's just being able to, and you know who says it best? Women, if you want to know who says it best. Like, people like Neo. You ever heard Miss Independent? She got her own. Even Drake has some good ones. I'm like, you got to pay attention to what he's saying. I'm not going to sing it right now. I was about to sing it. It is way too quiet in my house right now for me to just start singing because my children are going to come through that door and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? So, but yeah, man, ladies, you want to just listen to Independent. He's something about her. That's the whole thing. He's saying there's something about her. The way she walks, moves like a boss, talks like a boss, manicure, something, pedicure off. She's fly effortlessly. I sound like a white dude reading the lyrics, but it's something about it. I mean, I'm a fan, and like I said, if you shut my witty ass up, take my money, take all my money. But yeah, and the chill vibes, how you are when she had very chill vibes. See, would I hang out with the girls at Wild Pear? Yeah, but would I have a good time? I doubt it, because I feel like the whole fucking night there'll be the type of girls that just, oh my God, how's my outfit look? How my hair look? How my shoes look? I like that chill vibe. Like, if you get, wherever the fuck we're going, and you're just laid back, you're chilling, you're having a conversation, I'm being inappropriate, you're being inappropriate, back and forth. I think that is way 90 times better. And that's how that girl was. She was just like that. And she was always chill. Never worried. Like, these girls from Wild Pear, they had the fucking, they looked like they had a makeup crew all the time. Like, they were all just fucking. And me, and see, this could go a lot of ways too. Like, I'm the person, right? So, damn it, I have to reel it back in. But anyway, I'm the person, if you ever ask me, are you a T and A man? If you ever ask me that question, I have the same answer, and I've had the same answer for several years, and it hasn't changed. I said I'm a face man. I always say I'm a face man, and people be like, huh? Let me explain. I am a fan of, and the fastest I could do this without burning too many times, I'm a fan of natural beauty. And I think it's important when you see this girl with no makeup, and if she's attractive with no makeup on, I love that shit. And you know who else loves that shit? All the guys. You know why? Because Drake made a song about it. You know what? Drake had the best line ever, and it was super fucking relatable. And he said, you know what he said? He said, sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope you don't take it wrong. See, I didn't have to look that shit up off the dome because I would never forget that line. And he is 100% on point. Now, women, of course you took that fucking thing wrong. I'm pretty sure women are like, what is he trying to say? Like, I'm ugly when I'm with makeup and dressed up? Nope. That's not what we're saying. Not what we're saying at all. What we're saying is, when you're chill, that shit is hot. And it is what it is. That's what it is, right? I know you girls will be like, you probably heard that, and you'd be like, if I said that to a girl, I'm like, I love when you chill. You look fucking sexy when you chill, right? I know if I say that to a girl, she'd be like, this motherfucker just said? She's going to go to her girlfriend and she's like, he just said, basically, I look ugly when I'm dressed up. And I'm like, no, that's not what I said. Not what I said at all. All I said was, it should be like a super compliment, right? I'm saying when you are you, that's when you're the sexiest. When you are you, right? women are going to take that shit wrong. They always take it wrong. That's why Drake said, I hope you don't take it wrong. And I bet every woman took that wrong. They're like, fuck. He's saying I'm ugly when I dress up. And that's all y'all going to hear. God. Bringing it back. Where the fuck was I? But that's it. Let me wrap that up because I'm already at 30. So it becomes different. It's more of the mental game, the banter, it becomes, the physical's still there. Of course, like I said, I'm not going to deny that the physical is not there. I mean, we notice shit you girls don't even notice. We'd be like men have this like fucking psychic link, and I should know because I went to an all-boys school and I saw all fucking versions of men, so I know all types of men. But we all have this connection where it's just like, we'll see a girl do something, like she goes, reaches up, she gets a fucking shoe or something. We'll look at each other like, did you see when she got the shoe? Yep. And we'll know what we're talking about. Like, we won't even have to, go into specifics. Like, yeah, the arch in the back. Yeah, you seen the arch in the back? Yep. And it's just like, yep. We have to say very little. I'm like, did you see the thigh crease? We notice shit you guys don't even notice. You guys probably think a thigh crease is disgusting or something. We see it and we're like, I know exactly what he's thinking. Did you see it? And then we're like, yep. Are you turned on right now? Absolutely. And that's right now, you girls probably like, what the fuck? I thought this was ugly. And you're like, nope. So yeah, I'm not going to deny that, but I will say the 60-40 split, that's what it is for me. And it kind of like I said, I didn't have the exact percentages, but that shit, nobody had 90s and 80s for like the physical. So like I'm saying, like it went down dramatically at this age. So what else? What the fuck else I was going to talk about? See, man, fuck. I should have wrote the shit down. Oh, yeah, that's what I had. Interesting question asking guys. So I was like, I was asking men, I'm like, so in the age range, I'm like, so, because, I was asked this a long time ago, they're like, how many times sex in a night, right? And this is like, I'm not talking about like when you're on a honeymoon vacation or you're on a getaway. When you're on those, you want it like 24/7. It's something about hotels where you just like, gotta get it in. I'm in a hotel, gotta get it in. But I'm not talking about getaways. I'm talking about you and your woman have a 9 to 5. You come home. How much time you want to get it in a day, right? So I said, I was telling, I like to tell the guys first about me before I get their answers. I'm like, just letting you know, this is how I see it. I'm like, at this time, when I was in my teens, 20s, I can go whatever amount of rounds the woman want to go. She want to go 5-7 rounds, easy. Teens, 20s. 30s, on the other hand, I've noticed, I have a tap out limit at round 3, right? After round 3, if you want to go multiple rounds, we need help. Well, I need help, right? And it was kind of the same across the board. It was the same across the board. Like, ladies, when you're super freaky and you get to those times of the month, I think it's pre-time of the month, even when you're on your period. I mean, when you get freaky and you want it multiple times in the day, let me tell you something. My age and up, and I know this is gonna throw y'all. I don't know. I got the same thing around 2-3, right? 2-3 rounds, right? If you have a man, and I'll tell you this right now, this is gonna hurt your feelings, because I know all you women, you're gonna defend your men, but I tell you this right now, if he is going like 7 rounds with a hard-on dick, he is on something. And I know that hurts your feelings. I know you girls like, not my man. He's not built that way. I guarantee you he is on something, and I will put any type of money on it. He's popping something when you're not looking. It's just he's slick with it. He's slick. You don't even know, You don't even know. You're just thinking this guy is the fucking champion. because you could ask male porn stars, it just, they do the shit for a living. You think that they on all types of shit, injections, pills, they got the blue chew, they got all that shit. You think they're just banging 8 times a day and not taking anything? I'm sorry, I'm hurting your feelings, because I know you want, right now, if you got a man in that age range, you're like, my man, not my man, not my man, he's athletic. Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. You're skinny, you're fat, you got muscles on muscles. It doesn't fucking matter. I guarantee you he is taking something on the low. I put any amount of money on it. Anyway, so it was like, we got to, the 2-3 number was the thing. And we were like, we're also at the age where it's like ego is out the door. Like, and I said this in the podcast with the girl. I was like, 19s, 20s, it was all about us. All about us. Really didn't care about the woman that much, right? Or, we probably had a talking where the woman was like, how about me? You had that talking to, and I know you all have. I know you all have. So, and the 30s is different, right? You change. It's like more about them. Like, I give a shit about me because, I know it's easy for me to get to that point, but to get, them to that point is a little difficult, depending on the woman. So, the number one thing, like, if you ever watch it, and guys, this is where I'm like, you got to listen to the bio. I listen to all female podcasts, right? If you look at my podcast list, I'm listening to Call Her Daddy, Sophia Would Have, Guys We Fucked, all these women spin-off things and shit. What the fuck was floating in the air? Anyway, I listen to nothing but women, female podcasts, so I can get into the mind of a woman. And you know what I learned? Absolutely fucking nothing, because they all say shit where you just like, okay, I can't, I'm never going to learn this. So, but they all say the same thing, and then they interview, female porn stars. And the number one question is always, penis size. That's the number one question. But then it's like number 3 usually. How do you feel about men bringing toys in the bedroom, right? And I think in your 30s, we're all for it. Like teens, 20s, it was just like, I don't know. You got that ego. You're just like, I think my penis could do exactly what that thing. And no, motherfucker. I'm sorry. Your fleshy penis, fleshy cock cannot do what Robocock 9000 can do. And that's facts. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, but it cannot do all. It can't thrust, tickle, slap, and fucking hum Bruno Mars songs. All I want. You can't do it. So don't let it hurt your feelings, young guys. Because I do have younger male friends who listen to this in their 20s. So just it's a fact. It's a fact, dude. Don't. I remember I was in was this last year? I said Thanksgiving. What I was about to say, I was in the sex store at Thanksgiving. What kind of shit is that? It was Valentine's Day, the day before Valentine's Day. It was Asheville, North Carolina, South Carolina. I don't fucking know. One of the Carolinas in Asheville, right? It was in Asheville, and there was this store. It was supposed to be, the pop-in sex shop. I remember the day before Thanksgiving. Why did I keep saying Thanksgiving? Oops. Fucking. Oops. Can't believe I said it twice. I hate myself. I don't even like Thanksgiving that much. Jesus. Whew. Day before Valentine's Day. All right. I'm standing in this line. This line was out the fucking door, around the corner. Anyway, and people are passing by. Like, there's people passing by honking the horn because they know people are in the store because they want to see, toys and whatever the fuck for Valentine's Day. So it was like we're standing there, we're standing in line, we finally get in. I mean, it was like an hour. I was already tapped out by the time I get in. And we go inside, and I was like a kid in the fucking candy store. I was like, oh my God, there's Robocock 9000 over there, there's a cock over there, that flavor is bubblegum, can you believe it? Add to cart. I am all for female pleasure. I don't give a fuck. I was talking to I was too comfortable. It's like I worked there because I was asking the girl. I was like, "Hey, what's new right now?" And she was like, the flower, the lotus flower. I was like, "Oh, give me one of those." And she was like, "It's sold out." I'm like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's the number one, couple toy." And I'm just like, "Fuck." I was like, "What's the number two?" Right? I'm asking all these questions. Woman was all like shy and shit. Not me. I'm just like, "Oh man, how about the number two? Ah, that's sold out. That's sold out." And I always wanted this thing, like it was like a sex ramp, right? It's supposed to be, it lets the woman be in all the positions, that she feels shit. Not even for dudes, right? I was like, let me get one of those. Got one of those. Never fucking used it. Never fucking used it. So it's just, collecting dust. I'm probably gonna use it when I have like back pain and just like it's nice ramp like this. Or use the fucking skateboard. I don't know. Never used it. Anyway, so yeah, I was in kids and cancer, and like, cause I'm all for it, right? And I remember my cousins. Like, now I'm gonna put they shit out there. My cousins, like, I remember I walked in one of my cousins' room, right? He's older, of course. He's like 20 years older than me, I guess. No, at the time, like 15 years old. Let's say 15 years. So I walk into his house, right? And I'm just being nosy. I'm going through his shit. I'm just like, I get to his room. I'm just like, let me see what this motherfucker got in his drawers. Open his drawers. He had everything, and it was insane. But there was one thing he had where I'm like, what the fuck is going on, dude? And this was a younger buck, this was a younger buck at the time. And I was like, why do you have a giant penis with two dickheads on it? And I had to look him in the face and ask that question. And he was just as calm. He didn't look nervous. He didn't like get shy. He just looked at me like with straight confidence. He's like, it's from a woman. I use it on a woman. I'm like, what? I'm like, where does the other end go? And then I was like, never mind. I don't even want to fucking know. I don't want to know. I just want to walk out. And I'm just like, okay. He's like, yeah, man. He was like, I have a whole thing down there. He had a fucking, I'm going to call it the pleasure chest. He had the pleasure chest. You open it up. It had things that tickled. It had things that smacked. It had vibrating. It had Robocock 3000, Robocock 10,000. It had, everything. And I was just like, Jesus, man. I was like, what are you doing in this? And, at the time, he's like, you don't use any of this stuff? And I was like, no. He's like, when you get older, and that's why this episode, I said this, because I'm just like, shit change, and I understand him completely. I would shout his name out right now, but he's also, he's wifed up right now, so I don't want to get him in trouble, so, but yeah, and I see it all now. I see it all, but, yeah, and what else? Let me get off this subject, because like I said, I could go on for days. But not in that way. You know what I'm saying? I need, yeah, and that's 30 and up. We need something. We need a blue chew. We need a fucking rhino, whatever the fuck, ginkgo biloba, ginseng. I don't fucking know. We need something. If you want to go extra rounds, darling, be like, hold up, darling. Gotta get Robocock. Anyways, getting off this subject, you perverts. Body. Let me go body route. Because let me tell you, I am breaking down slowly. Oh, man. I feel like I get up, something's sore, something cracks, knees are cracking, all that shit. I'm just like, shit wasn't cracking before. Why is it cracking now? But yeah. I did this morning. Like this morning, I have to get up slowly. Like I get up. Because every time I just get up and move, later on something hurts, I feel like I like tweak a knee or something. But then I also had all these injuries, right? I had a shoulder injury for 2 fucking years. It was painful. And that was because I refused to do therapy. And then I had a knee injury from CrossFit. So I don't know if it's that, but I'm just like, I'm at the point, man, I'm getting up, I'm like, fuck, that hurt. And then it takes a while, like my body has to warm up, and then I'm like, I'm good. So I don't even know how I'm doing this, early morning workouts because I'm cracking all over the place. I'm just like, oh. I make all the sounds in the morning. Ah. Oh man, I need water. For the audio listeners, I just drank some water. Disrespectful. But what else? Anything else I want to say? Things that turn men on in their 30s. I know ladies just listen to some Drake, listen to some Neo. They got some advice. They got some, like we're into your interest now. The more you do, the more we like. What else? And the chill. Remember the chill. Oh, the TNA thing. Did I say the TNA thing? Let me go back to that real quick. I'm gonna end with that. The TNA thing. So I used to say the face, blah blah blah. I think it's important. I always say this too when I say the face thing. I was like, because I always say face instead of tits and ass. I say face because the natural beauty part. So I always say like, I want to wake up and the same person be on the side of me. I don't want, at night we're chilling, we go to sleep, I wake up, and I'm like, holy shit, who the fuck are you? And, you went from Paulina to Paul, with no makeup on. You look rough. And, I know that sounds fucked up. But, you girls have your own thing. You guys have a ridiculous list of what you want in a guy. So don't even fucking... all I'm saying is natural beauty is best. But if you wanted me to pick an answer between T and A, I always, A. But I always say, this is how you know I'm real when I say I'm a face person, because I used to use this example, and I can't even use this example anymore. Like, this girl as an example. Besides Christina Milian, I used to think Christina Milian, because I used to see her a lot with no makeup. And she just had natural beauty, and I was always a fan. I was obsessed with her. I also used to say Aubrey O'Day. Now, before you guys be like, what? Ew, let's go back, right? Because right now, Aubrey O'Day looks like a fucking cat mannequin. Like she's a mannequin for like a fucking a Puma store or some shit. She just looks like that type of shit. So Aubrey O'Day, and I'm not even talking season 1 of Making the Band. If you don't know who it is, of course I'm going to post it, whatever. You'll see it on the video. She was in Making the Band, that Diddy shit, where he makes the band. It was a lady group, right? I'm talking about, there was a time, and I'll never forget, there was the episode, when she was trying out, when they had to, do all the dances, and Diddy was weeding them out, like, all right, you girls leave, you girls stay, go, okay, you stay, you go. When he was doing that, she, at that point, she wasn't wearing makeup and all that shit. And I always said, wow, she's beautiful, right? Now, this is pre-season 1. And, I remember I used to say that, and people were like, damn, but she has no body. I'm like, so what? I'm like, did you see her face? Right? And I was like that. Then I think as soon as even season 1 hit, something changed. Boobies got bigger, then she changed her butt, then she changed the fucking like structure of her face, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I don't understand that. Anyway, but like, yeah, they were like, oh, she's flat chested and she has no butt, and I'm like, okay, but did you see her face? And I was always like that, and it never changes. The natural beauty is born. So if you see a girl and she's chill and with no makeup on, and you're just like, yum, I become obsessed. And that's it. And that's how I'm gonna end it. I become obsessed like the guy from You, like I said earlier. And I think that's hot as shit. And I think guys do too. I think if you ask any dude, we like you when you're best, when you're no makeup on. And don't take it wrong. Boom. And that's it. What we did 48 minutes. Holy shit, I'm going to hate editing this, because that means I have to listen to myself for 48 minutes. Horrible. So, anyways, I'll see how the comments come out from this. I mean, like I said, dude, anything perverted, sexual, anything like that, I can do hours of speaking. As my character flaw, I can do that easy. Easy. But as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one with a new tattoo. Later. God, I'm tired of talking.
Oh, don't be angry.
I'm not angry. I think it's funny.